And but you helped me piece that together too. Why do we need to filter anything? Purity doesn't need filtration. It just is.
Right? We don't need to
Right?
ask ourselves anything. We just need to feel like, well, you do, but you feel everything. We just disconnected from this whole thing.
Well,
We
so
disconnected.
so as king, questions, as the king, right? The king is the crown. As the king, and the question is the quest that I am on, right? In
Hmm.
in in mythology, the Fisher King is the Grail Queen, the Grail
Okay.
King at the end of all Grail quests. The answer, and swear, right? Yeah.
I'm in. I like,
Language,
like what's the Holy Grail? Is it just the information that's hidden inside of you?
the Holy Grail is when you realize that the kingdom of heaven is within. Because if you actually look at the Grail cup, it looks like your neck and then your head.
It's you.
It's you are the Holy Grail.
When
It's
you release the ego, you literally open up the Holy Grail. Like I
yeah.
remember when I released it, and I didn't know I was releasing it until later, but I was just like, it all just hit me. It kept like Holy Grail kept coming up, Holy Grail, and I kept having all these visions. Like we are the Holy Grail. We're what we're looking for outside.
Because
Everything we're looking for outside is right here.
when you empty the cup, then it can be filled.
It's
The
interesting,
Holy
right?
Grail, right?
It's filled with
When you
actual true
empty,
consciousness.
this is all the stuff that they teach in Buddhism, even though a lot of the teachings are skewed because they turned it into a religion.
Yeah,
But empty the mind. The best way to know anything is to sit in silence for a period of time until the
that's how
answer
you find it.
arrives to
That's how you
find it.
find it, right?
Because then there's no distortion.
Right. Except that ego will come in and try and give you the answers, and that's the distortion. So you got to start to, that's where the feeling starts to come in, right? And that's where you start to get really tested. It's
And
like,
then and detach from it. The thought is just the thought. No emotion, no label. Let it pass, and then continue on the journey, on the path,
totally.
right?
And
Yeah.
it loves to just make us second guess. So as soon like, and we're so used to second guessing, but as soon as we second guess, we've pushed away the truth.
Yeah.
Unless we already asked to think the whole thing through in the beginning. But as soon as you second guess, you're like, now your mind is just working overtime. It's just like, oh my God, let me try and figure something out.
Yeah.
It's not real, right?
Just working in alignment in flow. Just knowing what to do. I used to check my door all the time, make sure it was locked because that was what the super did when he showed me the apartment. He's like, I always do this. So that's a back door that he
Yeah.
planted as a seed, right?
Yeah.
And then one day, why am I doing this? There is no reason. I know that it's locked. There's no reason to check it other than fear and programming that hasn't been changed.
Right.
There's no other reason to do it. Like when people look back into a room right before they're about to leave, I should check to make sure I have everything. Why?
I used to do it all the time.
If people are conscious of everything that they're doing, there's absolutely no need to do that. But then again, everything happens for a reason too, right? So
Totally.
that delay, I came up with this concept one day too. There's no such thing as a setback. You are right on track.
100%.
For everything that we experience, we needed directly for our path.
You
If we
need
didn't
you
need
you
it, we
said
wouldn't
it.
have gone through it.
You have everything that happens has to happen. That was the biggest thing I ever learned. Every single experience you're having is not an accident. And I mean not one. Not one single. I don't care if you pooped on your leg. I'm just being silly. It's meant to happen. The amount of times after what you just said is that I looked back into a room to see if I forgot something and still forgot something
Yeah,
showed me that it was meant to happen because I ended up back at somebody's house and we had a great conversation or something opened up or da 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 da. And when you
yeah.
start to like let go of the bull crap and you're like, I'm just being guided everywhere. Like
It's all
I used to
divine
explain
guidance.
it like I see a puppet show. I've shared it with people before where I'm like consciousness or like the way I see things now is like a puppet show. Everybody's being guided into each other's lives to give them an experience. They're
Hmm.
like we're like experience magnets. That's how I wrote it.
I
We're like
like that.
experience magnets, and everybody's sitting there judging all these experiences and going victim and blaming everybody, and then they're not realizing that their higher self just put that person in their life. If it was just
Yeah.
for like a shouting match, then that's what it is for. And maybe you need to realize that maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, you judged somebody in the exact same way, and now it's coming back to you. But it's not
I
going to happen 2 days after. It's going to happen when you least expect it.
That's why they say time operates in cycles. It's not linear. It's cyclical,
It's
right?
cyclical in the sense where it's random, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're always gonna magnetize something back to yourself.
Random. Like I used to program in school. I could code websites from scratch. Random, even random, has to be programmed
It
by
is.
the programmer.
Right. So the consciousness
So
knows exactly what it's doing.
it's the appearance of random.
Yeah.
Like
So to the
there's
human, it's random.
yeah, things that times where I thought that I forgot something. I didn't forget. I just
No.
wasn't meant to be on that bus because
Yeah.
maybe the next one there's someone that I'm meant to meet. Like there's times where one of the buses at the terminal was 20 minutes late at least, and I bump into this guy, and then he says to me, "Ever since I met you, my entire life changed." He said
Right.
when he saw me, he saw an angel walking in human flesh. He gave me a book and we just started talking, just met. And I said, bro, that bus wasn't late. He's like, I've been waiting to find someone like you for my entire life. I just want to give you a hug right now.
I love
Because
it.
I was fasting the entire day and then we just started talking about age and all of this stuff and how you can live for hundreds of years if you really want to. And
Yeah.
it's just it
No
cracked
accidents, brother.
no accidents
But like
whatsoever.
I
But
share
I
that with people,
doubt
but they
it.
don't believe me. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't
Yeah.
can't believe. They're like, I can't believe that this just happened to me because there's no way that God would like or whoever or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's crazy great.
Yeah.
But there's no accidents. And one day you'll get to a point where you actually have to go through all the accidents, which is all of our victim stories or whatever, and all these things, and you'll be like, I see that this was meant to happen.
You're talking
And then
about like the life review where everything is laid out for you?
well, it's kind of like every experience becomes that.
Mhm.
Every experience you know how we always want like closure or we want something like that. When you get to the end of an experience or you've resolved something fully, you actually see the full thing of it. You see the whole understanding of it.
But you can't appreciate that in the moment either, because I've even tried saying to people, there's a reason this happened, there's a lesson in it, but the emotion will cloud the clarity.
Yeah. And then you'll see it later though.
Yeah,
Later on you're able to see
it's like
everything and
a
you
emotions are like clouds in the sky. You can't see the clear blue.
it's like a hurricane in the clouds or in the
Yeah.
sky. It's
Yeah.
like as soon as you've chosen an emotion, you're in ego and you're gone. You're lost. Until
Well,
until you can pull yourself out of that emotion and actually consciously say to yourself, I'm deep in an emotion and I need to pull myself out of that. It's just autopilot. And it's just like it immediately clouds everything. Like victim is the strongest one because as soon as somebody chooses victim, and you'll see this with the victim mentality situation, like victim aggressor or whatever, you say whatever you want, you'll see that the victim never wants the answer. There could be like they could be asking for the answer and you'll give them the answer, or some ominous thing could happen and show them the answer.
the answer
And
becomes a problem.
it's no, no, no. So that's why victim's so deep. And that's why
It
healing
is.
isn't what everybody feels it is, because everybody's still a victim. If you're still healing and it's still coming up, you're still a victim to the situation. And if we're still a victim to the situation, we're not acknowledging that it happened and we magnetized it to ourselves.
And
And
it's
it's either
not,
karmic or a choice, right? So
yeah.
how can you heal something fully if you're still getting triggered by it?
It's not the situation themselves, but how people react to
How
it
they
that
hold it.
is the issue.
Yeah, it's how they react and
Yes.
how they hold it. Because normally when we become the victim, we've changed the story too. We've only fixated on one piece. And there's this whole other story in there. And that's what I noticed when I started going back to take responsibility and I started going back to things that like really traumatized me or that I held as like I hate you or like I started realizing like I had a big part in a lot of that stuff. And the biggest part of me taking responsibility was like, holy Jesus, I've hated this person for years or this thing or like blamed this person for so many things. And then I'd look and I'd go deeper and deeper and I'd be like, I actually called that on. Like I
There,
actually started that conversation and I could have stopped 1,000 times. And I pushed that person to say what they needed to say. And I only fixated on the one part that they said to me and I hated them.
because they were an external manifestation of unresolved in
100%.
issues. It
Like
that's the
everybody's a mirror and they don't
viewing it.
realize like,
We yeah, everything is light and like even what atoms. I was looking at the word atom the other day, and it just came to me. I'm just like the way that the language was written, it's ingenious because
Yeah, they're
Adam
good.
is at um um. The word is like one of the first words of conscious creation. Um at Adams,
It's very
Adam
interesting, right?
in the Garden of Eden. And
It's
I
quite
just,
it's quite the interesting like play on.
it just came to me one day.